Hey, Battle Build, here with another video. Back at it with some Master League content, our biggest investment yet for a Pokemon for some goddamn battles. Whenever we got this Marshadow, the last Go Fest, the one before that, Niantic blessed me with the beautiful 13, 12, 14 IV. I'm being freaking sarcastic. Those IVs are trash. Yo, Niantic, hook it up with the hundo next time. Thank you very much. But you know what, you YouTube viewer at home? I made this investment for you. So what you can do for me, please subscribe. Anyhow, we dumped nearly 300 rare XLs into this goddamn thing, and we tested it out to see how well it would do in this current Master League meta, and I like it. It's a cool glass cannon, improvement over Annihilate, especially now that thing's been nerfed into the goddamn ground. It's a ghost fighter, as you can see, with access to recently buffed Sucker Punch, Ice Punch in close combat for the usual fighter coverage, and boy oh boy was this thing difficult to build a team around. I like it in specific matchups that it's got, but this thing being a fighter makes it tough to play in Masters because it doesn't do amazing against all the dragons. Like Dialga, yeah, we bang it with some close combat, but like when I'm playing against an opposing Palkia or things along those lines, I can't have another Palkia on my side, or even a Dialga. I guess the steel typing would help a little bit with the dragon typing, but we don't want to be double weak to goddamn fairy. So building around that is tough. Now Yveltal and its mother are everywhere now because of the recent buffs. Rhyperior's got Mud Slap, so constructing the perfect team was tough, but I still got this feature with Marshadow in these battles, and you can see how well it can perform and the potential it has, and then you can build a better team than me. You don't see the rest of the team on screen because I didn't stick to one team throughout these battles. But without further ado, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is my biggest investment into a Pokemon yet, and boy do I regret it. Psych, I lied. I enjoyed these battles. These battles were fun. There were some good ones in here, I promise. We got ourselves lined up with a Landorus. We're the Landorus. Lined up with a Ho-Oh. That was team number one's problem. What's my answer to Ho-Oh? Oh, Stone Edge from Landorus. That's literally it. So shout out to them for not shielding, but I don't think I'm in the best spot either. Also, I forgot I do have Elo, so I will update that on screen. I was around like 2170. Yeah, my starting Elo is like kind of pooey, but you've seen some of the YouTube videos. You haven't seen maybe all the content because I've been streaming basically daily, or you know, as much as possible during the week and the weekends and whatnot. We've been testing some dumb things. I did battles that didn't even get to see YouTube, and it was triple Magmar content. Magby, Magmar, Magmortar. I'm so serious. Maybe when Great League comes back, I'll shoutcast those and post at them. Besides the point, my starting Elo is ass. Am I this bad? Probably, but I was just at the last Baltimore regional and I top 17 out of 100 freaking 50 plus people, so who knows, maybe potential's there if I really applied myself. That sounds like cope, but you know, maybe eventually. Okay, anyhow, Xerneas on Giratina. Let's start the shoutcast, and I'm freaking having a yapathon over here. We're gonna throw a close combat because they pivoted. This was a mistake. Had great alignment, didn't need to do this. Have a great answer for the Dialga swap. Technically have two good answers, but the two shield's a little suspect for Marshadow because it's a glass cannon, so those Dragon Breaths are gonna add up, and you're not getting all three close combats by the time Dragon Breath annihilates you. So now I got like times misconstrued. I'm down to shields. I'm gonna be able to throw Sandsear Storms, but I'm probably not gonna get that shield back, so that's problem number one. Trying to get off a second Sandsear Storm, don't even do it. So that's not ideal. Waiting out the timer so we're not misaligned any further. But again, like this thing's almost dead, so I don't really want to throw a Moonblast at it, but I don't have a choice. It just takes forever. They then pivot into Excadrill. We match it with our actual fighter, and this is also kind of where Marshadow struggles because it's a fighter that only hits for super effective fighting damage when you throw a close combat and debuff yourself. But you know what? I was cool with, I think, oh no. I decided to shield this up because I can Sucker Punch farm down. And I was like, Marshadow content. Bang. Ice Punch the dragon. It's low. We got Sucker Punch. Hopefully we survive these super effective Shadow Claws. No, we CMP instead. We would not have survived those super effective Shadow Claws, so I should have tried the pivot. That's besides the point. Boatload of energy on Xerneas. We would also survive a Shady Bee from this health range. We're gonna get to the Moonblast in time, and we're gonna take the dub. Could I have played this better? Absolutely. Did I still win? Absolutely. Am I in the 2100s and bragging about a win in the 2100s? Absolutely. Next match, Xerneas on Rhyperior. Should be a good lead. Gotta be careful with the close combats. Didn't want them to swap once I built up to 2 because that felt predictable. We're also 3-turn moves. I guess I could also just wait for the Mud Slap to come through. Regardless, we CMP. I was feeling a breaking swipe. You gotta trust your gut sometimes, guys. You just gotta trust your gut. We chuck another close combat. We realize that doesn't kill. It's gonna take us a bit to get to another close combat, and we don't want to get Mud Slap down now that we're double debuffed. They then throw a freaking Rock Wrecker, and I go, oh snap, that ish hurt. I had a feeling they had the energy. I just thought Landorus might tank it a little bit better. I don't really see Rhyperior as the attack heavy type, but then again, Landorus is pretty damn glassy. And look, a Charmer! This was like half our issue. You need like a hard Charm answer, but then every hard Charm answer is freaking weak to the rest of the goddamn meta. So it's very annoying. We're over farming here. We're going for close combat. We're hoping this resisted damage will take out the Primarina at this health. It does, thankfully. We don't want to get sniped or anything along those lines. They then come in with a Necrozma, and we're screwed because we're down a shield. I don't really know what my game plan was supposed to be. But hey, shout out to that Ghost goddamn fighting type, as we take neutral from the Dark Pulse there. They then pivot back into Rhyperior. We're about to die to frickin' Mud Slaps, and then I couldn't even get off a move. So GG's, couldn't even fake the close combat. If Marshadow maybe was a hundo, maybe I had a little bit more HP, maybe if they were just a bulkier mon in general, could have potentially gotten the close combat off and had another one on Xerneas, maybe win the match, probably not. On to the next match, we got ourselves with Xerneas lined up with a Zacian with the quick attack. Again, another awkward thing here is like the back line isn't going to do great against Zacian, so I gotta kind of play this out. I guess Landorus isn't that bad, but I don't like the idea of safe swap Landorus. It feels like the most obvious safe swap in the world. So you gotta play out certain leads, and this was the team I felt like had the most balance, minus the fact that it's exceptionally weak to Ho-Oh. Regardless, our opponent throws their Wild Charge, we throw our Moonblast, we then pivot, trying to catch. We're like, screw it, throw your move, we're gonna eat it. Thankfully, it's just a close combat. Both moves would have been singularly resisted. They then pivot into their Yveltal. We're gonna throw a Stone Edge that has super effective damage. Bang! They don't got a shield left. Bang! And then they're gonna take us out because there's no reason for me to commit to my Landorus at this health. Plus, the goddamn sucker punches, because, you know, Yveltal had to get buffed too, are kind of chunking up. I'm hoping to get to the close combat in time before they decide to throw. I don't want to use my last shields. I want to save it for my little glass cannon Marshadowy boy in the back. And we're going to see what their last mon is and hope that Marshadow can sweep. And then, oh yeah, we remember that Zacian kind of got out with mad health. Even though it debuffed the hell out of itself, it got out with mad health. And then they debuff themselves again and get back out with mad health. So we're going to throw a close combat. Whammo, one-shot Dialga, so that's cool. They then come in with their Zacian, and I think I make a mistake here because normal freaking quick attacks, those things, you know, double resisted damage. Maybe I'll debuff myself. I could have gotten 2 ice punches off. Shout out to having that shield and Xerneas with enough health. I end up being able to Geomancy down. We win the match. Change the team now to a Kyogre lead, which, like, you know, was off to a fantastic start against this Rayquaza. Should have kept the Xerneas. I was running into a lot of Ho-Ohs, so I had to pivot to like a non-Ho-Oh team, or non-super weak to Ho-Oh team, and then I start running into every other issue. Like this team is ABA weak to Tapu Bulu. I was seeing too many Tapu Bulus. It's not a bad mon. I was seeing more than I probably should have seen. So really not loving our circumstances here. This team, like I said, is more like ABB the Ho-Oh with the hard counter. But then we got this new weakness. And then also we still got to be careful with all the dragons because Marshadow's not a great dragon answer. And obviously Kyogre's not. We pivot into Zacian. They then match with Landorus. And we're running double nukes just to make sure we can hit Dialgas properly with our Zacian. Not double nukes, double debuffing moves, because play rough kind of be hitting hard too. Regardless, we come back in with our Kyo to go for the Lando farm down. Unfortunately, unable. But you know what the cool thing is about Marshadow is it does have that Ice Punch coverage. So hopefully that'll come back to be beneficial for us. We get off a Thunder here. We're hoping they just don't shield it and it hits for that nice neutral damage. They don't shield it. We pivot. They come in with their Tapu Bulu, because I guess they were relying on that to win them the game. We land ourselves a beautiful Ice Punch, so I guess maybe they weren't doing that, because now it's dead and they still have a shield. Shout out to this opponent's plays. I should not have won this match, but our opponent didn't use a shield. Shout out to 2100s. We get to make that onto the YouTube video, because I still won the match. Doesn't matter how you win it, as long as you win it, it's a win. Words to live by. Next match, not a good lead. Kyo doesn't like Palkia. I don't like safe swapping Marshadow, because as you can see now, it's getting met by a frickin' Yveltal. And then, you know, our only real answer to either of these is Zacian. And guess which Pokemon the Zacian lines up with? Neither of these. So we luckily get a shield here. This is no longer worth committing to. They should throw an Oblivion Wing for that super effective flying damage. We come in with our Kyogre to go for the excessive farm down, hoping they don't get 2 moves, potentially knock us out or do hella damage. They do have a lot of health. These sucker punches are adding up. I really don't want to commit to the Kyo. We just barely get the farm down, and we're gonna throw a freaking Thunder at this Palkia. Hit that beautiful non-stab neutral damage. We then go into our one answer for the Palkia, and they match us with another Fairy. I gotta be cautious. I want to let that first move come through. I don't want to debuff myself and then have to shield. We can eat a Moonblast right now. We will not be able to eat a Moonblast after these wild charges. So I throw the first one. We're gonna over farm a tiny bit. We're gonna throw the second one. Technically, you really want to build up to 3, but I probably lost track of their counts, and I was like, let me just get both these off to be safe. We get off the third one. They've decided not to throw. Maybe they thought they could get a Geomancy down. They could not get a Geomancy down. And then we don't want to get Dragon Breath down. We are Fairy, but we're also, like, triple debuffed. So my logic was, don't get Dragon Breath down. They got a lot of energy on my Kyo, though. I could have stayed in. It would have been risky. Probably would have been screwed. Probably get Dragon Breath down. I probably lose this no matter what. Somebody find me the win con, and then you can tell me in the comment section I'm bad at this game, because you're absolutely right. But hey, we're still trying out here. We're still trying out here. Yo, next match, this mobile game, perfect. This thing working fantastically. Did you know that not only does Primarina run Waterfall in Open Masters, it doesn't. Does it have access? Sure. It doesn't run it, but did you also know those Waterfalls are neutral? Shout out to my opponent for not shielding that Thunder. It was running Charm, but the visuals on this game are so scuffed that the fast moves get screwed up visually, and then you have no idea what they're throwing at you unless you could see, you know, what kind of damage you're taking. But I'm paying attention to the animation. I'm not looking at my Pokemon being like, oh, this is resistant damage. Oh no, this is neutral damage. That's not what I'm doing, Niantic. Fix your game. Regardless, we let our Kyo go down. We then get our Zacian onto the Kyo, which seems fantastic. We had a shield advantage. We overfarmed a bit. We don't want to let them get off another Oblivion Wing. We're going to throw ourselves a Wild Charge. This one shots Yveltal's remaining health. They then come in with the Rhyperior, and we should, bearing any Battle Bill throws, trademark that, win this match. So I overfarm a bit, trying to go on the proper timing. I then overfarm a little too much because I really don't want to get Breaking Swipe debuff, so I should have thrown a little bit earlier. But yo, shout out to R and Jesus. We get the 2 close combats here. We're throwing on bad timing, don't care. Bang, get off the second one. Bang, that took a second. Marshadow with the clean sweep, beating the rock types. You sick of seeing Rhyperior everywhere? Build a good Marshadow team, it does well against it. Next matchup, Kyo into Zygarde. This is a very neutral matchup, but Zygarde's got like 7 million defense, and Kyogre's only got like 5-ish million defense, which is just not enough when compared to Zygarde. So we are trying to be weary. We expect them to throw the Earthquake right off the rip. So we decide to shield in hopes that shielding the right move here allows Kyogre to be thick enough to win this matchup. I start to learn that's not the case. So shout out to them for using a shield there. They definitely did not need to. They could have easily just no shielded, let their Zygarde almost be dead, and probably got off an Earthquake and won this matchup. But instead, they played off the ones, and they still won the matchup, but I'm in a little bit of a better spot. We do have to eat an Earthquake on our Zacian. I really don't want to end up using both shields because Marshadow's a glass cannon. So I gotta save a shield for that thing. And then the Zygarde doesn't want to die. Die, Zygarde. Die. Get quick attack. Screw your stupid crunch on my goddamn fairy. Then they come in with a ho-oh and things are just looking beautiful. We're gonna wild charge. They're not gonna shield. They then pivot, which we appreciate because they can just incinerate us because I wanted to get off both of these. And then their last monetization. So it's no longer beautiful because what is Marshadow supposed to do against a ho-oh Zacian backline? Literally nothing. Marshadow could have played against the Zygarde, probably would have lost even with the double super effective ice punches. I see the writing on the wall. Shout out to Home Slice Henry as always, stealing his lines because he's the GOAT for a reason. And we top left and get the hell out of the match. So yeah, Marshadow, really cool, quirky mon, fun to use, has niche play, but difficult to build around because of its typing and the current meta of Master League and Pokemon Go. Let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed my extremely expensive investment, please support the content. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Preach.